Hey guys, Devious Bodafet. So, you might have noticed I'm actually missing quite a bit of videos on the actual webpage. And that's because I'm going through, I went through all the videos that had really old information that's pretty much useless to whoever sees it. I've deleted them, and I'm going to make the revamped version with, new information with the more knowledge that I have now, so it's just better and it's quicker and faster and clear. So you don't really have to pretty much decrypt everything that I'm trying to say. So this is the first video of many revamp videos of Warrior DPS. This is going to be the Warrior DPS revamp. So let's get over to a nice quiet place because I bet you don't want to hear people on hoverboards. I like this spot right here. Let's take this. Get up here, get in position. Okie dokie. Now, one of the things that a lot of my older videos, I usually don't explain things very well. I'm that type of person. I need to be talking to other people, so here we go. You ready? Because I am. So one of the first things, I am, as you can see in my achievements, I've done all the world bosses, all the dungeons, everything. I've been through all this crap. Oh, look at this guy. This guy's kind of cool. Oh, he wants to hang around? Yay. Hello. So yes, I've gotten everything cleared pretty quickly. Um, so this is pretty much what I'm left with. This is currently after clearing all this crap. I have assault power wise 1556, strike through wise 6.83%, critical hit chance rise 20.76, and critical hit severity, for those people that want to know, 178.41. Now, plus I got some cooldown reduction there, and there's no other real big thing that really defines. Nah, that's fine. By the way, this 6% deflect chance, it's not that bad. Saved my ass a few times. Something you should look at. If you get a 6% deflect chance, I notice it happens like not all the time, but like once in a while on very key moments. Really cool. So yeah, here we go. So the three things I think for Warrior that you should always be looking at is your soul power, your strike through chance, and your critical hit chance. Now, for the early development of your Warrior, it's mostly assault power and critical hit chance. You don't have to worry about strike through that much until you get to like, world bosses. Basically anything on a world boss level is when you need quite a bit of strike through. Now 6% is actually perfectly fine for the world bosses. I barely got deflected, and I mean I barely got deflected. Like I spent a good 20 minutes sometimes on these world bosses if we only have 4 people there. And with all those strikes, maybe for a good 20 minutes, I only had about, I'd say 15-20 deflects, which sounds like a lot, but if you're pretty much doing 8 strikes, like Ravage over into Override into Ravage, that's very good. Um, Going into this, I want to say that to get really good stats, like a benchmark you should be hitting, I'd say 1450, getting close to 1500. Once you've gone through all that dungeon content and you're going on to those world bosses, like if you want to get really high numbers, you want to get like 1450 to 1500 assault power. You want to get at least 20% critical hit chance and at least 6% strike through. Now you can do this in a lot of different ways. Me personally, what I found is that I lacked a little bit on brutality in some stuff. So for example, my shoulders, it's only 62 brutality. My face is, my head's only 47 brutality, and I picked up the slack in assault power with fusion slots, just rune slots, and I picked that slack with brutality, and that's kind of how like I balanced it out to get that stat variation. But also how I got that stat variation is help of my amps, getting the critical hit chance, severity, getting the strike through amps. I am running power hitter. I'm running detonate. I do have connect fury and armor shred, and obviously power link. Now you might think to yourself, a lot of dash regeneration would be nice, but mine comes up so quick, even with this one tiered out ability. It comes up really fast. I don't really need to be dashing around the whole place. Like a Spellslinger could really benefit from this, or an Esper could really benefit from this, or even a Stalker. So yeah, I got some CC resilience because sometimes how I have my keybinds set up is if I press my Q or E, there are actually other abilities. So this kind of helps, but I do always have CC breaker on me. So if I get CC'd randomly twice. And cooldown reduction. Now, cooldown reduction is only 15%, but for abilities like my CC break, really cuts down the time, and Power Link really cuts down time. And what's another good ability, for example? Not really the kick and grapple. It's more like anything that's above 20-second abilities. Really helps out. Really nice. So we got the benchmark. You kind of know what we want. Actually, let me get rid of this expulsion. So I was just using that for a little run I did. So here you are. This is kind of a very general setup for me. Tier 8 Relentless Strike, always need it. It's pretty much your base builder for Connect Energy. It's your standard if everything's on cooldown. Rampage, your main DPS. A lot of your DPS is coming out of a Rampage. The stereotypical combo for Warrior is Rampage, Click Your Override, Onslaught, Rampage. Tons of DPS in short amount of time. Your kick, tier 8 kick, always need that 2 interrupt armor. Very, very low cooldown. It's beautiful when running dungeons. World bosses, not really. It's more of a dungeon run because you always need those quick interrupts. Grapple, once again, very good positioning tool. Another interrupt armor, and it's very similar within cooldown. Leap. A lot of people like Bum Rush. I just got used to Leap. I just like Leap. It's a little bit longer. It's a little bit higher cooldown too, so I'm just super comfortable with it. And I don't need to aim it. I can just tap it, and I just know exactly where I'm going to land, just because I'm used to it. Power Link. This is a must. If you're running dungeons and you're the only warrior, you always need Power Link. It's it. I would say it's necessary. It's always necessary. Breaching Strikes, again, once I get a crit off, which is happens pretty much all the time. It's just pretty much a more beefy version, a lot more beefy version of Relentless Strike. And I'm not missing out on any Connect Energy. I'm gaining some Connect Energy, and it actually has a bit of Armor Pierce, so it's doing more damage than what it's portraying. And then, of course, Unstoppable Force. Now, one of the things I like to switch out with Unstoppable Force would be Defense Grid. Defense Grid is a very, very, very good utility tool to switch out Unstoppable Force for. For example, the Power Link Defense Grid combo is very, very good when handling a big, condensed group of mobs. If you're attacking 8 mobs at once, and you just pull a whole room aggro, and you're in those holy crap positions where you don't know what to do, Power Link Defense Grid can really save the entire fight. Another good one to use, I like Defense Grid, I like Unstoppable Force, but if you need a cleanse, you can always use Expulsions. If you need more mobility in a fight, especially if you're jumping off a platform, for example, you're doing a certain raid boss fight, and you need a lot of jumping on and off abilities, Bum Rush is very, very good. You can put Bum Rush right on there. I like that. I like having the leap and the Bum Rush and flying around the entire map. But anything like Smackdown or Ripsaw, I would not put that on there, unless if you're doing something that requires a snare, or don't even look at Smackdown. I don't want to see you guys write Smackdown, unless if it's like required for some very unique situation. But yeah, or Tetherbolt. If you're mining and you're getting ganked by stalkers all day, which I don't know why stalkers would gank a high level warrior. Tetherbolt, there you go, run away. You got your Bum Rush and your leap. Just get out of dodge, especially if you got friends. Or a flashbang. Maybe you want another interrupt. Really, warriors should only be carrying 3. 4 is a little unnecessary. If you honestly need 4, you could always get a tier 4 grapple. But you gotta remember, it's not like you're getting the 2 counts at the same time. You have to Oh, I can't show you it. I wish I could. You actually have to wait 17 seconds and then another 17 seconds to have those two up. So yeah, there's a, what am I doing here? Yeah, so there's a lot of play. It's a very utility-based class. Now, gadgets I think you should always be running as optimization routines. Another really good gadget to run, which you can buy from the PvP vendor, is protection. This can really just help your whole group, especially if you want to run a very utility-based build where you have defense, grid, power links, and protection. You can put protection on everybody so they reduce damage, power links so they increase the damage so you can kill the mobs quicker, and then let's say everybody just took a big burst of damage, put down protection, help out your healer, and keep people above on health. So yeah, it's I find there's two different ways you can really go with the warrior. You can go full out damage, or you can go full out utilitarian. And you're only cutting back if you really do go the utility side and don't have like a tier 8 rampage, for example. You're only really losing 20% of your damage, and warriors do quite a bit of damage, and losing that 20% does hurt them a bit. But if you can save a stalker or an NG from replacing the DPS ability with an interrupt, the stalker and that NG is going to just do more damage than you, hands down. Especially if they're going full DPS build and are taking every single slot of their abilities to advantage. So yeah, so that's been the warrior build. I'm just gonna cut it here right now. I don't need to talk about anything else. We've gone over, base stats, like really high base stats. You should be hitting. I showed you the amps and especially like how I got those stats through my amps. Showed you kind of the standard build I always run, plus things you can switch out for. I wouldn't really say niche, but more of what you prefer. Showed you the gadgets, don't really need to show you health potions. Uh, and that's pretty much it, it's everybody wants to play a class differently, but if you're running those dungeons and you really want a really good setup, this is a very good setup of switching this out with defense grid. So yes, I recommend this to anybody. I really hope you guys really progress, and there are people in guild calling each other out, so that kind of sucks. So anyway, I hope you guys like the progression of videos I'll be coming from this point. I want to keep them very professional, like clean and quick. I don't want to be making 15-minute videos. This might only be a 10-minute video. If it is, that's awesome. So yeah, once again, it's DVS Boatfet, DVS Gaming. We're obviously playing Wildstar, and good night.